fundraising. Fundraising is so important. The board really has to be highly involved in that and committed to that, and really help the nonprofit through each board member's fundraising efforts.
Really just to make sure that the organization is one where you can really make the time commitment. There may be a substantial time commitment with being on the board with meetings and being on various committees, and it's really important that once you make the commitment to be on a board that you fulfill the time commitments and with everything that they request you to do.
Ask questions. It's really important to ask questions, especially if you're new to a board. You might come into a situation where you don't have all the history and background. It's important if you don't understand something to ask those questions.
I've seen situations where board members maybe aren't fulfilling their responsibility, and one of the things I always tell the board chair in those situations is really to make sure that you sit down with the person, make sure that they really are going to make the commitment, and if they can't, just explain to them that it's okay for them to remove themselves from the board so you can get somebody in a position that can help the organization.
Communicating and being upfront about it is extremely important. Why is that person not pulling their weight? Do they feel disengaged? Do they feel not part of the process? Are they not excited about the role that they're in? Do they feel that their skill sets aren't being used properly? So these are all things that really need to come out to understand why is an individual not engaged.
The board needs to govern, and they need to be able to do their job. So they need the information that's required, they need to be able to ask questions, and the executive director needs to be able to handle the day-to-day operations and feel like the board is confident in that person's abilities.
There might be some things that from an operational standpoint you may not like or agree with how they're doing it, but it's up to management to fulfill the actual implementation, and it's up to you as a board member to help set the direction of the organization.
A lot of times you can sit on a board and the answer to a question will be, well, that's just the way that it's always been done. And as a board member, you need to push back on that, because sometimes the way that it's always been done isn't the right way or isn't the way that it should be done going forward.